Good evening, everyone. It is Wednesday, October 27th. It's approximately 7:37 Pacific Standard Time. I am David Stanley. I am full-time Apache Helicopter, part-time comedian. Just to give you a disclaimer up front. This is more of an update video to give you an idea of what's coming forward to you in the next couple of days. I have 4 videos that have been pending for 2 days. And the videos go on in regards to the Credit Crusader Army, our leadership, what we're asking of our followers, in a sense, to do that are part of this fight, because the fight is real. When they say the struggle's real, the fight is real. It's important to stay in the fight. It's important to communicate in the fight. It's important to keep moving forward. The attacks have definitely come our way in many ways. So my hat's off, first of all, to all of you that are on the fence and watch this and try to decide what you want to do, what side you want to be on or not. I totally get it. Some of you are trying to get information to decide whether you're going to give your money to Mikey or other people that I'm going to mention. And also, I think the biggest piece of all in this would be that I have to give my respect to those that are in the Credit Crusader Army, and I salute my general and my lieutenants. Once again, if you don't know who that is, that's the Credit Crusader himself is our general, and our lieutenants are Jim the Credit Guy, and Everything Credit, who is David Payne. I don't ever mention David by his last name, but recently some things have come up that I'll be able to address in my other video in regards to David Payne and Mr. Todd Givens. Our lieutenant was definitely attacked baselessly. I've given fair chance to Todd Givens to respond. He hasn't. It's kind of wishy-washy what's going on his side for Mr. Givens. However, he does promote Mikey. So we'll get into that later on in the next video that you'll see. Also, people in our system that we have, like sergeants, like Sergeant First Class, you know, L. Frankie, people call him as L. You'll know him as L, and if you're watching and seeing him in the live chats and comments and whatnot, a comment was made that he used a very disparaging word and a term towards an orientation. Now, I told you all when we started this fight, it didn't matter about religion, race, creed, color. I don't care if you're purple, if you're a wooden-legged pirate who lives in Renaissance era and dresses French and speaks Chinese. I don't care. I accept all of you, and so does this team. It is funny to me that David Payne got called a racist in such a short amount of time, but yet someone can't prove it who's making the claim, but yet all his clients come from different backgrounds, all kinds of backgrounds. And I mean that, like everyone under the sun. And then, you know, L was attacked in a comment he made in one of his live videos, giving basically a parody of a review in regards to Mikey and the credit game, digital deletions, millionaire, digital millionaire, all the crap that Mikey has under all his failed LLCs. You know, opinion or fact? Fact, okay? Skip Tracer's done enough of those to tell everybody too. This might be your first time seeing me. If it is, go back to the other videos and visit the 3 Wise Men. They have reviews too. They also offer a lot of things. My position in this video tonight is to let you know that more videos are coming. I am making commentary on Mike's videos as they keep coming out. Things that he's saying that I can just absolutely disprove 100%. Automatically just off the things he says, let alone having to prove them with documentation, because that comes later. Or Skip Tracer. I call him the Geneva Convention because it keeps everybody honest, okay? Brings it out and exposes it to you. But let's talk about a couple things. The Credit Crusader. He is our superhero, okay? He has a normal life like Superman had, like Batman had. I go on and on and on and on. If you're in that world of comics and you're a geek freak like me some way, right? But geeks make money and geeks are smart. The truth be told, he has a real life. And when he built his platform, it wasn't about bullying people, tearing them down. And it's such a foolish word, bullying, okay? I don't want to even get into that, tearing it apart or not. People can be bullied, yes. But also, his truth exposure platform with regards to credit and CPNs and TINs and having workshops and having the option to purchase the workshop, okay? It is your due diligence as a consumer, as it was mine, to research what we're putting our money into. I made a mistake because I did not have the time. Comments made by Chris Evans, who's actually a non-existent real person who used to work for Mikey, constantly likes to badger me and say, oh, shut up, David Stanley, shut up with your 88 account, shut up, David Stanley, get a real job. I have a real job. I make good money. I make decent money, I think. Not the greatest money, but I make good money, and I'm in a good place, God bless me. But the comments from Todd are pretty simplistic too, like the same thing with Chris Evans. Read between the lines, you can figure out if you're number one. I'm just saying it. It's very true, okay? So, as facts will crush these men. I don't have 88 accounts, okay? I have 18, 17 accounts, and 18 and 17 of them are regards to medical credit, which is 13 that are on there that are failed out. So that leaves me with 4 or 5 accounts that go back to 2009, 2010, which is past the statute of limitation. You know, as I was talking to our general today, it's not, you know, credit prison It's not credit hell, but there's credit responsibility. So we're seeking out credit help from these people in general. Now, Mike just takes straight advantage, okay? He takes a position of, I'll take your money and do nothing. And Mike claims he's not like the rest of the shitbags out there that do this, but he is. He's the biggest shitbag of all, okay? Look at the videos, look at the history of it. A guy who has a criminal history in fraud, a guy who's been busted for fraud, a guy who's been busted for drugs, admission for drugs but doesn't tell you about the fraud, has failed LLCs and several LLCs in his wife's name, his mom's name, his dad's name. It goes on and on and on. LLC here, LLC there. The bullshit game of this is that you can dissolve the LLCs and it's not a crime. The problem is when you do that, your customers are the ones holding the bag. Okay? They're holding the bag on this. Me as the customer is holding the bag. Why I got involved in this fight. So that part about me joining, catching the wave, as Chris put it, catching the wave. Catch your own wave, David Stanley. You talk a lot of senseless crap. What an effing waste of time. Well, no, I don't. Because the wave I'm on now is a wave full of people that were victims. They're the most powerful people now. They're not victims. They're rising warriors. And they're fighting back. And they're pushing Mike into a corner, forcing him to change his platforms up now. Okay? So, Chris, I'm riding a wave to success, not the side of a mountain. You're just mad because you worked for the guy, now you lost a lot of money yourself, and you don't work for him anymore. Or you're the troll friend in the circle. That is the bully. Okay? So, back to Credit Crusader. His platforms had nothing but credit education pieces to you to invest in, but it's your responsibility to check your credit constantly. Monitor your credit with a moderate creditization. So you can build it through anybody. You can build it through Equifax, Credit Karma, Self-Line Check, E-Check, whatever you want to do. It's your responsibility to monitor your credit and check your bank account, not once a day, not twice a day, not 3 times a day. I recommend checking your bank account 4 times a day. People are like, that's ridiculous. Is it? If you got time to go on Facebook, if you got time to go on Instagram, you got time to check your account. It's your money. Make sure it's where it's at, and it should be going to where you decide where it goes to, not just being taken out without retribution. Your responsibility. Then you go to Jim the Credit Guy. Jim the Credit Guy wasn't a victim. He wanted to educate people so they'd be self-empowered. That's what it came down to. He had the letters. Here's the letters. This is what you do. Go with God. You got any problems? Come back to me. I'll guide you again. Different level of intelligence. He drops knowledge on me quite often, and he puts me back in place of things that I'm going to do or about to do and helps me to go down the right path. That's someone who cares too, okay? Then you go to, everything credit, David Payne. There's a story out there I'm going to explain about. I'm going to do a whole piece on David Payne, okay? Our lieutenant. And explain how it went down, of how he started his company, how it came to fruition, what a hard worker he is, and like nobody else you see on the platform. Who else goes online, does live 5 nights out of 7 showing you that he's working for you and doing stuff and sending letters and answering questions? He's got a phone going here, a phone going there. He's talking to his wife. He's talking to his kids. He's talking to you in the live chat. Insane, right? But he's doing it for you. So when people start calling and making comments or going after David and saying things like, why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long? I want you to go back to something. Your credit that you had when you started went back a while ago. And you probably spent it in a matter of no time. Just money spending, flowing it like Mikey does with our money. Because Mikey spends money everywhere. He lives an eccentric life to try to compete to show that he's rich when he's not. He has to show it, walk the walk, talk the talk, wear it, be it. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. That kind of bullshit with our money. Not the case with David. David lives within his means. He's kicking ass. He's making it happen for you. But my point to it is that you went and you created that credit drama by yourself. No one else did it to you. Unless you have credit fraud. No one did that to you but yourself. Okay? Doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you should go to jail. Unless you're in Dubai. Okay? Because they take your hands off for that shit. But the reality is it doesn't mean that you should have to pay for it for the rest of your life. So advocates. Okay, like David, okay, knowledge resources like Jim the Credit Guy, okay, direction workshops like our general, the Credit Crusader, it pays, right? You pay a little bit amount, a fraction of what you pay into Mike, but you get actual results in time. You spent the money that fast, you spent the years of building up the bad credit. When you give anything to any of these people, especially people like David Payne at Everything Credit, give it time. Software wasn't designed to speed it up. It's like luck of the draw. It's like being in Vegas and then saying, hey, you know what? I might get lucky. I want $100 on 32 to 1 odds on 00 green on roulette. Who does that? I did it one time, just for the record, at Paula Casino, and won $5,000. It happens, right? But then my dumbass went and did it a second time and put 1,000 on it, and I was out 1,000. It's a gamble, guys. It can happen. It might not happen right away, but in time it happens. Medical credit, everyone I've talked to, from the Three Wise Men to people outside of Three Wise Men at law firms, have all told me, which the law firm I'm part of says, what are you doing? Just make the letters and get it done. It goes right off, and it does. Medical credit's very easy to challenge, okay? You can challenge it all day long. Doesn't mean that you take one or two off. There might be one that pops back up. Because remember, as it was told about zombie credit from Credit Crusader, really good video, go watch that. Sometimes people pick that up and it reactivates an old account that was still active when they sold it, and therefore it could pop up on your credit again. It is a game. That's the one thing that Mikey got right. It's a game. Mikey got kind of close with some of the tidbits he gives with the hacks, but some hacks he gives can get you in a lot of trouble in your state. That's why I call it the hacks. The tips that Mike has, semi-decent, but you get better tips from Jim the Credit Guy and better tips from General Credit Crusader all the time. But this part here, you're asking, well, is it drama? I don't like drama. It's a war. It's mudslinging. They're just hating on Mikey. No, we're not hating on Mikey. We hate what Mike does and what he represents. You can't be a guy who has, and I'm going to give a little bit of math, I'll go more in detail, but I'll throw this one tidbit in there. You can't be a guy who built three $15 million companies in 18 months and live in a $400,000 or $525,000 home and renting that home, not even owning it, and say that you are successful. Are you going into media advertisement? Because he monetizes on every YouTube video that he does. So my question would be is, where is the big trick of saying now these vendors? Mike is the vendors. Not directly, but indirectly. His mom was delete deletions. Under the LLC, he was delete deletions. Bradley would collect a check when he gave his testimony to all of us and apologizing, saying he gets a check right down the hallway, okay, from the credit game, but people taking the call center. They shared the hallway. The same company was giving the check was the same that was writing Credit Crusader or Credit Game's checks and his checks. Credit Crusader figured that out. Okay? Skip Tracer puts up LLCs in Venmo accounts on Mike. The guy can't pay his bills. So why would you take advice from someone who's falling and collapsing? And I know Todd Givens gave his comment about Dave Payne on this, but David Payne asked him one question. Lieutenant David Payne asked him one question. Can you help me out with bankruptcy? And he was very honest. He showed the text messages on there. So where do you get that he's a racist out of it? I'll get into that later on. This stuff is just ridiculous to me. But my problem is people in our own army, okay, people that are on the fence or people that I've referred to these companies are now saying, well, why isn't it happening fast enough? You just got there. Take a seat. Have a cup of shut the up. Relax. It's happening in time. It takes time. If they're getting results done, great. But let me tell you, if Mikey did anything for you guys with his credit sweep software, because that's exactly what the F it was, all he did is took your credit score up and then watched it plummet right down when they figured out what it was. Because they figured out it was software algorithms challenging the systems by a number grid. And when they would give back the information to take it off your credit, you'd get it put back on your credit and your score would go down even more. That's what Mikey did for you. David Payne's results are long-term. That's the reality of everything credit. I'll say it again. That is everything at everything credit. It is a long-term solution, okay? Knowledge, sense, want to pick the brain a little bit, try to get around something? Jim the Credit Guy will guide you through that land of the shadow of death. You want workshops that matter and sense that matters with credit for your business when you're building your credit and you have your credit and you want to build it back up fast, quick, and operate at another level, then go to the general and buy his packages. People are like, oh, he's just doing a plug for these guys. I would do a plug for anyone that makes sense on it too. It really doesn't matter. The fact is that we're all helping each other at a fraction of the cost of what Mike did and getting actual results that are true. Not just someone saying, hey, F you, I'm not going to pay you. I'm not going to pay you back. And if you do try to come after me in my clause, it's $20 if you challenge it. Now take $20 times 2,000 people, do the math. Mikey's got victims reporting to Equifax up in Canada, and they're all elderly people living in elderly assisted homes. People, be honest with yourselves. You got yourself into the mess. Now you're asking for someone to guide you through it because either you don't have the time or you don't know it. You can't expect someone to go get the knowledge, come back and expect they should just give it to you for free. That's their family, and even then the family will charge you. But 40,000 hours, folks, please break down the math of what 40,000 hours is. It's longer than Mikey's been around. If Mikey claims that he's been the master of this in 10 years, take 40,000 hours, folks, you do the math. Total bullshit, like Mike. Total bullshit. Okay? So my opinions, facts, whatever you want to call it, since I got to cover my ass and know that I'm a full-time Apache Helicopter and a part-time comedian, I'll roll with it because it's a joke to me too that I'm even on here having to tell you guys this because Mike says it's true, so it must be true. The fact that he gained 1,000 followers in under a month. Bullshit. because YouTube can't even verify it. And the reason why YouTube slows me down is because I'm calling out people that pay for advertisement. I call out people that are monetizing on their videos that YouTube pays them because YouTube makes more money. Okay? YouTube is a great platform. I'm on it. I'd be a hypocrite if I said it wasn't. Okay? But it gives me a platform to speak. But I want you to understand, so many platforms to speak on has only so many people to verify truth and not truth. But then link my stuff that I'm telling you to the three wise men. And if not, go to people like Skip Tracer. There's no skin in the game. People are making their own videos, and I've told him, if you got a problem with Mikey and he screws you out of money, make it. He won't refute it. He won't say my name. He won't say Credit Crusader's name. He won't say David Payne's name. He definitely won't say Jim the Credit Guy's name, because the moment he does, people will go over to us, they'll start following us, and there's more numbers in our game. There's more numbers in our army. So the reality is, do us a favor. When you're in the live chats, if you're in this army, do not forget to like and subscribe and share. If you're not going to make a video, okay, about anything that happened to you, the fact because you're embarrassed about being a victim, I understand. But what you could do is at least do this. Take one of my videos, take Credit Crusader's videos, take Jim the Credit Guy's videos, take one of David Payne's videos from Everything Credit, and go ahead and make that video on your channel. Link it. The more it gets out there, the more we get the message out. And you're saying, well, geez, Dave, when's it going to happen? This guy's going to go to jail. Trust you me. The greatest cases were not compiled information of the best investigators overnight. You don't believe me? Go ask Skip Tracer. Go ask anybody. Talk to Jeremy Moore in the comments. When we build cases, it takes time. To go after them takes even bigger time. For me to collect the information on time comes to it, when I have to be the lawyer on the other side as a counselor, prosecuting Mike, okay, for a class action suit, because it's coming. Oh, it's coming. I ain't afraid to say it. People are like, don't tell him that. Mikey, I'm all about frontal assaults. It's coming, buddy. I challenge anyone that you want to put against me in a civil discourse debate on the Credit Crusaders channel. Hell, split it. You could split the subscriptions. You could split the views if you'd like with Credit Crusader. I'm sure if you want to get someone willing to challenge me against your platform of your information, what you have. Because, Mikey, I saw you on Monday night in your little sweatshirt that said, millionaire, behind your little book wall. I guess now the question is, everybody, am I a former client of Mike's, or am I still a current of Mike's, or am I a new person of Mike's? Right back at you, Mikey. You're never going to know. I know everything that you do. I know everywhere you're at. I know every speech that you have with your sales team. I know the new grid card they got to read off of. You don't talk anything about trade lines. You don't talk about digital deletion options anymore. It's just credit education, because you can hide behind that. But realistically, what you're doing once you hook, line, and sinker these people in and taking their money by offering all the other things to the vendors, Prosperity Trading, by the way, which is your dad's LLC, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. We are not going to stop. Credit Crusader Army Unite. I invite anyone, because you notice I don't erase my comments at all. Like, subscribe, share. Even if you don't want to like and you're a subscriber, I thank you for that. Challenge what I'm telling you. Do your own research on it. It's an educational piece. Go to Skip Tracer, watch his videos. Go to Everything Credit, watch his videos, invest. Go to Jim the Credit Guy, watch his videos, invest. And go to our general at the Credit Crusader. And if you don't want to sit there and watch anything about the Credit Crusader Army and what's going on, then go to his platform and educate yourself then on just the credit stuff. That's all I want for anybody. Let's be smart about our money. Let's be smart about our investments. And let's get the hacks out of the way, like Mike, Todd Gibbons, and the rest of those guys that are all tied into each other, do nothing for their clients, take their money and run. And go, haha, there's nothing you can do. Oh, watch out. There's a lot we can do. Trust me, within the legal system, there's tons of it. Within the business system and licensing, tons of it. Through your state and your state attorneys and advisors and senators, a lot. A lot. And if you don't think we've made the impact, look where Mikey went from. The offices, the high-speed stuff going on, everything under the sun, to where now it's like little kind of like emotional videos from his house in his room. Okay? To where sometimes he's recycling his own videos again, which is funny why I feel like the last 6 videos he's made, I'm only able to comment on 4 of them because 2 of them are recycled. It's kind of weird, but okay, I don't care. If it pushes him under a rock to stop taking money from you guys, That's what I'm going to keep doing, and I'm not going to stop. But please, my message to this whole point, my message was tonight, if you're working with any of the three wise men, you better give it time, because you literally had all this time in the world. It had no results with Mikey, no results possibly with Todd Givens, no results with these law firms, no results with half the people I haven't mentioned, the other 5 people we're going to go after in the next year, just like Mikey. Give it time. It takes time. At least you know you're in good hands. And I'd be the first one to call out any of my three wise men if I knew they were robbing you or stealing from you, because I got no skin in the game. I'm not monetizing. You didn't see a commercial to this video unless it's Mike because he paid to be in the front of it. Okay. God bless. I love you all. I salute my three wise men, and I salute the Credit Army. God bless. I love you guys. Take care.